Top of the morning folks, today from the Reddit Rainforest. Have you ever been to a nude beach, naked party, or any other situation involving casual nudity? What was it like? How did you feel? Went to a party where everyone ended up naked after playing a card game. That was not exactly casual, but the next day, when we had all slept and sobered up some, and still naked, it was casual. A friend of mine made breakfast and we ate, and chatted and laughed. It felt natural, and actually quite cozy, because we had blankets, and I was already sort of cuddling with my friend and everything was just warm and happy. In Europe it's pretty normal to have mixed saunas, where everyone is nude. It's nice but actually no big deal. I wish we had that kind of culture in the US. Until you see your evil witch of a mother-in-law in the sauna butt naked and she's talking to you. Don't not ask me how I know. I have been to a few parties where we ended up naked. None of them were premeditated nudity though. Both times it just ended that way. Both times were also initiated by drunk women. I was not comfortable at first, but the alcohol definitely helped put that aside. Seems like at first there is always the sizing up of each other, but once you get past that it gets fun. Played strip poker with friends. Seeing attractive naked women is always fun. I surveyed Miami Beach years ago and had to work through the nude beach, which I think was in Harlandale. It was December so it was not very crowded. All old fat guys and one old fat woman. One guy was just standing around in a hoodie and jeans with his cock and balls hanging out of the zipper hole. All over in summer is fun. Much better looking people. Nude resort 8 years ago. It was like a bash, so bands were playing and a lot of people I knew were there. It was so fun. Vibes were good. Everyone was having a blast. We slept outside. Smoked tubes. Had a friend doing body art, so I got flowers down my back. At first I was anxious cause it was my first time. I was 18, my friend was 17. Her parents' permission. There were people there from my age to 30ish that I knew. Then there were permanent residents that were much older too. So a wide range of ages there, mostly older, while everyone was pretty respectful. There was a guy that kept trying to talk to me, even as I displayed I was uncomfortable. Luckily, my friends came around and got me out of that. I did see a guy that was much older than me that was a creep at the movie theaters when I was in middle school. Not sure if he noticed me, but I kept a far distance from him. Other than that it was a great experience. Saw so many different cocks, breasts, booties. As a virgin, I was in shock the first evening there. Then I eventually warmed up and was comfortable. Danced the night away. Such a blast, I would love to return now that I'm older and experienced. I have worked at a nudist resort and usually work nude. It becomes very natural, very quickly. How did first time people react when seeing employees nude? Very naturally. I think. I do not actually know if I interacted with anyone who was definitively a first timer. We were given the option of going nude or not, but when everyone else is naked, it feels weird to be the only one dressed. I went to a nude beach a few times and I think it helped me become more comfortable with my body and nudity, but I was still very worried about getting an erection. That was stressful enough that I kinda stopped going, but I would go again, I think. Swimming naked is just incredible. I highly recommend it. Went skinny dipping with some friends. 3 girls plus me, a guy. For like a couple minutes I was turned on and excited by it, especially since 2 of them were new friends and did not have a family vibe like the third one did, but soon enough got over it. After that it was just like regular swimming but more free. Not having the water dragging my trunks when I swam was a nice feeling. Quite often, my friends and I hang out nude or semi-nude pretty often. Sometimes we take pictures together, other times we just hang out and have a smoke. I was raised near a nudist community and frequently joined them for parties and such. Not orgies, just birthdays and such. And it was actually very fun. Although it did lead to me losing my virginity at the age of 13. There are such things as nudist communities? How is that set up? Was it selective? It sounds really interesting. They are just groups of people that prefer to be naked. It's kinda sexual. But a lot of the people in these communities are very close friends or even related, so it's kinda just like being at a family reunion. Just without clothes. Not really selective. It's just a group kinda like a commune. Working together and providing for themselves. If you want to be there all you had to do was work. Some people even had clothes on sometimes. They were a fun group. I go to a lot of pool and beach parties where people get drunk and high then naked. I do not drink alcohol or do drugs, so I'm usually the only girl in a bikini. When people get upset that I'm not naked too, I usually leave. I have been naked on an unofficial party beach. Nudity was not the norm, but it was not unheard of. I have been to a nudist resort. I go to sex clubs and have been known to leave a playroom naked to use the bathroom. Being nude is freeing. Natural. I would be nude more often if I could. More than the walking around home nude. Yep. I'm an avid social nudist or naturist. When you first start it feels like you are naked in front of strangers. Very scary but exhilarating. And then you realize that everyone around you is acting very normal. And it becomes very normal. It is a very non-sexual environment. Lol, I could go on and on about it. But overall, it's pretty amazing experience. I highly recommend. Where do you go to do this? It sounds wonderful. My roommate and I were thinking about doing something like this. There is a local nudist beach where I live. But there are nudist clubs everywhere. Just Google and do not be shy. Lol. I got drunk at a party. Banged some chick, then ran around with a tube sock on my dick, slamming beers and screaming. When I gave birth, my hospital gown was annoying me, so I took it off. There were about 10 people I did not know coming in and out of the room. I did not care. It felt like a non-issue. I had other things to worry about at the moment. Greetings. I do a naked skydive every May at Bay Area Skydiving in Byron, CA, to celebrate spring. There's no reason other than I did it once, then repeated it every year after. Naked skydive. Only wearing shoes, goggles, altimeter, and parachute. I wear a pair of shorts for the airplane ride up. The shorts come off after the aircraft door opens, and I tie them in a knot to my rig's leg strap before jumping. Once one of the other jumpers yanked the shorts loose as I left the aircraft, so I ended up walking into the hangar naked as well. In an up jumper. Sometimes another guy and a couple of girls join in. We do an RW 4-way. Have a big grin on our face when we land. Good times. It feels fresh. Just make sure that you land into the wind and do no crazy maneuvers close to the ground to prevent ground rash. Cheers. Riding a bicycle up 6th Avenue in Midtown Manhattan during a critical mass ride. Nude in public is great. My college was really open and accepting about just about everything. We had a yearly body art party in which most of the school would show up naked, but painted, in the main courtyard and dance all night. Not to mention all the naked potlucks. Yes, in college I modeled naked for an artistic class, and now well, it's my job. Feels awkward the first time more than one people is seeing you. You eventually get used to it. I spent 2 weeks with friends and lady, naked on the beach at an all-inclusive resort in Jamaica. Twice. Nothing removes all memory of stress like not having to worry about clothes, money, or tan lines for 2 weeks. Nude beach did not seem like too big of a deal, though it was funny. There were some high school girls hanging out near the water checking out all the guys going in and out. I did not mean to go naked until I got there, but I somehow forgot my bathing suit, so just decided to do as the locals did. Well, there was the party where about 6 guys got drunk enough to try doing naked cartwheels. That was an education. Group of 8-9 guys jumped off a 40+ FT cliff and took off their shorts mid-air before falling into the water at a family beach. Security had to wait on a few because they could not find their shorts. A couple of the jumpers did not manage to take their shorts off in time. It was homecoming my sophomore year of college. It was my first homecoming as a member of my fraternity, so I was partying hard the night before the tailgate while we built up a raid float. Long story short, there was acid in some of the beer and I did not find out until I had about 2 or 3, roughly 5-6 hits. I'd done acid before, so I was not too concerned. However I got wrecked. I somehow convinced myself that someone from another frat or sorority was going to sabotage our homecoming float, so I camped out all night with a laptop, a 2-octave USB MIDI keyboard, and a Mall Ninja Samurai sword. Around 5 AM one of my brothers came to check on me. He brought me a bunch of water and a pack of smokes, then took me to the beach to help me come down. He had a video on his Razr flip phone of me on the beach. I stripped naked, ran out to the end of the jetty, and challenged Poseidon to come at me, all to the backdrop of a beautiful sunrise and some very confused/amused local residents who happened to be there to enjoy the sunrise. In 5th grade, my friends and I decided to run around one of their backyards naked. Of course we screamed. Of course the neighbor looked out the window. No one got in trouble, but the neighbor did call her mom to remind her that his house was 2-story. with a full view of the backyard. Went to a beach in Venice. It was a nude beach. While waiting in line for an umbrella, saw a butt naked little 4-5 years boy dragging a rotted dead bird attached to a frayed rope behind him. No one batted an eye. When I was about 10 or 11, pulling into a 3-star hotel with my family, there was a couple just ducking hardcore on a random bench across the parking lot. Come to think of it, that was probably when I first became interested in the idea of sex. Unfortunately, that is all there is for this video, but do not worry, there are many more coming. Like and subscribe for more videos from the Reddit Rainforest. Thanks for watching.